So anyway, that's how I ended up in the back of a Ford F-250 with George Bush's cousin, Don, and a chinchilla.
Dude, you can't tell me that the chinchilla clearly was not supposed to be the driver.
Well, he was, but we had to pull over.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone. I know my stories never make any sense, and that's the whole point. Just like
they make sense. If you were there if you were there
2 minutes before,
the whole stream, if you guys actually hear behind the scenes, you would hear the whole story. Then it makes 100% sense.
My life is not this interesting. It's pretty boring. But anyway, we got Power Hour number 137. We got what are we talking about today, boys? Anything?
Whatever we want to talk about.
We're talking
whatever you guys want us to talk about.
No.
We're talking about Positracks on the old
We're talking
Plymouth.
about whatever all of us want to talk about. We do this
LSJ
thing
Master Race. Actually, speaking of that, Carl Brunette at World Cup Finals today just went 582.
That's fast.
242 miles per hour in an Ecotech.
That's fast. No, don't you LSJ guys go like, oh, it's LSJ. No, it's not.
It's an
No, it is not.
It's not LNF.
Isn't it right? Guess what? And LSJ either. So it don't get to be. You don't get to set that one. Nah. No way.
But yeah, that's freaking fast. Broke the world record again for the 4-cylinder.
That's amazing. And they're turbo limited, aren't they?
They're turbo limited. 89
Jeez.
mil.
Isn't that crazy? Oh, your limits went 89 millimeter. Okay. All right, this big. Okay.
He's got since last year he had the Liberty, but he's got a Liberty 10-speed dog box in it now, and like I can only imagine.
Is that this custom built one-off trans that we only paid for and put in the Drag Sonic?
$60,000 transmission that we need.
Gotcha. That's one that the other guys on the other team are talking about right now, right? Okay.
The other team.
I guess guys, we're gonna be answering chat. We're gonna be chatting with ourselves.
Who are we gonna see at PRI? I'm not sure.
I would like to go.
I wouldn't mind going, but it kind of depends on, probably next R&D meeting we'll have to talk about what machines we're interested in, so we have a game plan for going.
Yeah.
But I don't mind going. I usually go every 2 years or so just to see stuff. Recommended spark plugs for the HSV OEM at like 26,000.
Yep.
That's my fan. That's what I'm a fan of.
Guys, and that's actually a good one too, because before Tim tunes, he usually suggests them they get them to start off the tune right.
Yeah.
So because pretty much every time he gets them,
when you're increasing cylinder pressure, you got to tighten up that gap.
Yep. More power, more cylinder compression. So. Like, you guys got to think about it. You have, you want more power, so that's obviously more cylinder pressure. More pressure means it's harder to jump that gap. So you either have to have a stronger coil pack, which we don't have for that platform yet. Knowing us, we probably will. So you just have to tighten up the gap so it's easier for the coil to jump that gap at high power.
Mm-hmm. And really, a lot of people kind of don't realize you can close the gap pretty far without having an issue. You just lose a bit of gas mileage. Like, guys, like in the drag side, we've gone down to like 15 thou before? 10 thou.
In my DSMs, I was like 15.
Yeah.
But I don't like going below 25. 25
That's
seems
a dedicated drag car.
Have you ever seen a 3800 spark plug at 60 thou?
That.
So big.
Yeah, freaking 3800s can go 50. I usually suggest 50 to 55.
It's so crazy. When that ignition system works right, it's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so prone to, like, if you catch the misfire bug, it's the worst ever. It's the worst ever. But it's like you can run a spark plug at 60 thou if it's healthy. So it's crazy to think that it's such a drastic swing.
I mean, 3800s, you have the ignition module. You have the coil packs. You have the spark plug wires. You have the spark plugs themselves. You have the wire harness to the ignition module.
Too much.
Like,
there's a lot of
holy crap, the 3800, man, when you're chasing
all old and oily.
Yeah. Still 3-foot long plug wires running from the front to the back. Like.
Yep. The 3800, the harness runs along the front cover, which there's only like a inch of a gap, and the harness is darn near that. So as soon as that thing jiggles around, it just rubs on the serpentine belt, and now all of a sudden you have exposed wires and misfires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or crank sensor harness.
Or they have that ignition harness has that ring terminal that people forget to put on the coil pack bracket.
The main ground for the whole ignition system.
Yeah.
They just conveniently forget about it. Bill, that Green Sonic was Tim's. Did you catch that video, Tim? The one we released on Wednesday?
What do you guys release to it on vacation?
Sure did.
Yeah, that was mine. It's a work in progress.
I don't know who the big guy is.
I'm assuming Zoom.
Or Randy.
Zoom
Or the big guy.
Well, yeah, Randy's tall.
Could Zoom fit in a Sonic?
He can in mine.
I picked.
Has he fit in your Sonic?
I picked Zoom. I mean, it's Tesla one time in your Sonic. He wasn't that.
It's probably not that
He
happy.
literally was like, "What are you in this for?" I was like, "Oh, I got to shake down fleet cars before, this and that and the other." And he was like,
he said, "Don't you ever pick me up in this S box ever again."
Yep, that was a one and only. But I was on my way into work, and it was convenient. But
Guess what?
I'll go out of my way next time.
Yeah,
Pick him up in his Sonic.
One time he needed a car like on the spot because we were like changing his wheels and tires probably. And I gave him my keys to my Sonic and he hated it.
Yep.
Oh,
he did not like driving it.
it.
He's driving a Tesla every day, and then he gets in my highly modified Sonic, and back then it didn't have any cats on it. Like we have a rule, you have to have cats on property, but back then we didn't have that rule yet. This is years ago, and he hated it. He was like, "The thing stinks," and I'm like, "Why?" Why? Like,
well, I remember when he had a CTS. So he had an LTG CTS for a little bit, and I remember one of his biggest complaints is, "I get too many outside smells." With this car. Like he like hated, like he replaced a cabin filter. We was like doing mods for cabin filter to make sure he didn't get any smells from the outside. And that's like the main reason he got rid of it and got into a Tesla. I remember that.
And my Sonic, like it was a very good running car. Like it had stock cams in it. Like it was a good running car, but
He's
it
just used to the luxury.
Run on E85 and gas, so you will have that smell if you get the right tailwind, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's a mod car. It's that normal thing that comes with it being a mod car. You got S-Box stuff going on.
Yeah. Sebastian Morrison, you're talking about your blower 2.4 car, I assume. Basically, anywhere that you can get the air the straightest. Like on our LSJ cold air intake, it's right at the beginning because you got the air filter and then it all bends the rest of the way. So if you can put it down towards there, I'm seeing you got a custom intake trans cooler lines. Interesting. But yeah, straightest portion you can get. Don't put it near a bend. We like to say 6 inches from the closest bend. So if that happens to be at the beginning, then probably the best bet.
Yeah, I know we're missing a lot of questions, guys. Don't be offended if we miss your question. It's not intentional. We'll answer.
Yeah, sometimes the chat moves fast.
Sometimes you guys rapid firing question at us or comments at us. We don't get to everything, but we will do our best. So we're here to just have a good time with you guys, talk with you guys, stuff like that. So
Derek Williams, yes, we can tune 3100 and 3400.
I was about to get so triggered at you.
Tim can do it.
Yeah, it's fine. I've tuned my fair share of Grand Ams with the 3400. So
we used to have a Grand Am section, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And
what's your email, Tim, so you can get your hand on
Tim at ZZPerformance.com.
Yep.
There it is. But I thought Tim. So guys, random thing about me. I will get triggered and it happens a lot, and I don't get why. In an email, customers will respond to me, and my name shows up as Ryan Derek. They will respond to me and say, "Hey, Derek." So I don't always do it, but I kind of do it sometimes. If your last name is, let's say,
Smith.
Whitaker.
Smith, yeah. So I'll respond to you with your last name if you respond to me by my last name. Because I hate that. My name is not Derek. My name is Ryan. It's my last name. I don't know why it triggers me so much. It just does.
He's got 3 first names. He can't help it.
I will fight you. I will jump across the table and suplex you right now.
Nick Soberry, what car? E47 depends on a lot of different vehicles.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Commonly, just a flex fuel kit.
Oh my God, Randy.
If you're keeping the blend light,
I'd
say that's pretty comparable.
But for an LNF, you don't need to do any of that. So it really does depend on what car he's asking about.
Definitely a fuel lobe of some kind.
Not for E47?
Yeah.
E47 is like,
Nick,
stop.
we need more details. We're happy to answer that question.
Yep.
Yeah. Daniel Anderson, VS cam for your
Burke.
Buick.
Need to update my PCM.
Bowman, does he need a tune? First cam?
Sure, absolutely. The VS is technically no. You could probably get away from it. Depending on the car situation, it may throw a P0300, but I know a lot of VS cams that don't if you have the idle set high enough, which probably in stock form your idle's not high enough to do that.
Sitting down at 550, just burning along.
Yeah. So, I'd recommend it because we're going to get some good gains out of shift points. Like I mentioned, the idle. Raise your rev limiter a little bit. I mean, you need to. Go ahead.
What is the stock rev limiter on a 3800? Like bone stock from the factory? Is it 55?
It's 59, right?
Yeah.
59. Okay.
Yes, right.
Just under 6,000.
All right.
Hey,
Ismail, he's off page already. He was asking about how to start the tuning process on a 15 Sonic, if I recall. First off, for us to be able to tune it, you have to have HP Tuner's interface.
Yep.
So if you don't have one of those, you're going to need one. We sell them. We sell them on the tune page. We also rent them on the tune page.
Yep.
Along with a laptop if you need one of those as well. But basically, you will just order the tune with whatever tuning additional options you need, and then then I'll send you instructions by email, like instructions, video links on how to do the whole procedure.
Super simple.
Yeah, guys, our YouTube channel is fantastic for this. There's a video that I sent that we did with Tim many times. It's called, if you type in ZZP Remote Tune, it goes from unboxing through sending the file to logging. It goes through the whole process.
Whole thing.
Please
hit up Nick Cobalt on E47.
Cobalt E47, you don't technically, you just need a PCM file. However, we
for an LNF.
For LNF, yes, 08 LNF. We do suggest the Opal injectors because they have the E85 safe seal around the injector itself. But
ask Ryan how he knows that.
Correct. I was one of the first people to figure this out. Well, with ZZP to figure it out. Like guys, this losing all this compression. What's going on? Right there.
Yeah.
The car literally sounds like the exhaust manifold has a crack on one primary.
One primary.
And
really?
what it is it's the combustion leaking out the injector.
Yeah, no, it's like, because I remember getting it. It was after a race.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did. I was gapping everybody that night.
Yep.
So it was after a race. I heard here. It sounded like knock. I'm like, I just blew this car up. So then I get it back to ZZP. We take the whole engine component. Like, well, we found it. Injectors.
Yeah.
It was the easiest thing.
Wow, this is gonna be tough.
3800 can fit in a 34? No. Can you run 93 in an E85 fuel pump?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Question, any more engine progress videos on the white Chevy Cruze? Nothing has changed on that car since the last video.
Just ripping.
That
Full
thing
builds.
is
We did like 36 videos. You need more?
Yeah. That thing is on the original engine. We still have not broken a stock 1.4 engine.
We about to start trying real soon.
Yeah, we'll have some fun with it, Mike. We'll come up with something. We'll show them where Yeti's at and how it's sitting.
I know it's so tough because I know a lot of people enjoy the blue LSJ videos, but it's at such a point that I can't do anything to it because it's so good right now. But I still want to do cams and valve springs and all that. And now that we got the new dyno, we've got a minty bay that we're gonna be looking good, and we'll have a lot of
release
dyno
video on
videos.
that.
Yeah. So guys, too, Jess has an update around here.
Need to be done first, but I'm on it.
Yep.
Hey, quick, Preston. I believe one of the videos was us putting the flex fuel kit on our Cruze. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, so we already have that, man. So
it was one of the last videos because we didn't. Most of our customers can't get E85, so I wanted that to be one of the last mods on the Cruze build series.
Before it's gone, poly engine mounts. I know it's been a long time,
guys. Revisions.
We're coming though.
Yeah, guys, you gotta remember that we can't just make parts and pull them out of nowhere. We gotta test them. We gotta make sure that
they're in the testing process.
Correct.
They are a real thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Jason Spellick, blue car is running great. I got it on my winter wheels right now, all seasons. But yeah, no, it's running well. Next thing I want to do is cams and valve springs. I'm still throwing it around, switching to a turbo. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how many cobalts I have in a couple months. But I for sure want to do that. Because the dyno is in our parking lot now and it's so easy to get back and forth. I would like one day to do a stock pulley 3.1, 2.8, like move down the line and show the gains and the jumps between them because,
that'd be sweet.
That cooling system's set up well on that car and we know it's good.
Absolutely.
So, it's maybe something we'll do over the winter. But yeah, if Borg Warner comes out with that S258 SXR, that might be one too. I don't know.
Yeah, so
no hammock before you're off page. You just basically asked what fuel is better, this or that. The best way to know is to find a way to scan the car and run the car like on one fuel and monitor your knock. Run it to fuel light. fill it with the new fuel, drive it for at least 20 minutes, and punch it again, and then compare the knock difference. Because I can't tell you if the non-ethanol 91 is better than the ethanol 91. I've seen it go both ways before.
For sure.
One thing I try to really push people to do, like if they're stuck with like 91 octane or something like that, is find a way to buy like E98 and then get a flex fuel kit and put like a gallon of E98 in like every fill up.
Yeah.
It really only takes you like seconds to dump a gallon of E98 in, and the gains are huge. And the flex fuel sensor will pick it up, and we can tune appropriately based on the ethanol percent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can get E98 delivered right to your house in a 55-gallon drum, and like Tim said, toss a gallon in there, and it's gonna make
or a 5-gallon pail, something you can hold.
That
too,
yeah.
Whatever you got to do. I mean, hand pumps are cheap, or
I got a guy with an LTG asking about our big wheel turbo, how much power it's getting. Usually you get between 10 to 20 more over stock. Spool's about the same, just holds out the RPM holds out the boost longer throughout the RPM range. They'll be available as soon as possible. Guys, I do apologize. We don't have better updates for products. You gotta realize we're juggling a ton of products right now. And thousands of products. And we don't know when stuff's gonna come back in the state of the automotive industry right now in general. It's tough. So appreciate your patience.
Gordon Barclay, Z54 worth it? Yeah.
Always. Oh, yeah. Even not on E85. It is 100% worth on a car.
Have we heard of Heltec? Yes, we've heard of Heltec. They're awesome.
Them on our site for the Slingshot.
Yeah,
but you guys can't afford Heltec. So no, we don't push Heltec. The stock ECM, we are pushing crazy limits on every one of our platform cars on the stock ECM. I mean, the Drag Sonic.
LSJ, we made 900. Stock PCM. And that is basic.
Yeah.
Matt made like 860 on the stock 3800 ECM.
Sonic, we've made I don't even know,
600. Yeah,
whatever
like 605 or whatever it was. Like, so no, we don't need Heltec. Sorry, these cars are new. I can't even imagine how much it would cost to do a full conversion properly.
Oh, because
it just goes back to we're always doing something
for the masses,
or basing our builds around something you guys can do, and most of you guys don't want to put a Heltec on your car or can afford to put a Heltec on your car. So
guys, like kind of like Bo was saying, like it's crazy for our platforms. Most of our platforms have to. We don't have to. We're trying to make it easy for you guys. Say, hey, this is what we can do on a stock PCM, and figuring it out that we can do this. So these are the three of our tuners right here: 300, LSJ, a bunch of other stuff.
Everything else.
LTG.
Other than that,
other than that. So guys, like these guys are going day in and day out, tuning constantly on vehicles here, on your vehicles, and you're getting you the best result possible. So Gordon, also I saw you say that I'm your hero. I appreciate that, brother. We're all trying to be cool here.
Nate's got a great question, I think. LNF billet cams, at what point would you recommend stepping up to these from the fuel lobe cam? And I would say absolutely when you upgrade the turbo.
Yep.
That would be a good time.
I disagree.
Or
right away.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, so I'll say, Noah's car is a perfect example. So guys, Noah has a sedan Cobalt that he did everything to. Rev. Yeah. Well, it's not even, remember, LNF can't really rev that. It's not about the rev. He gained another 20 horsepower on the stock turbo. The LNF, the Z2
My
cams.
Sky made amazing numbers on the Stage 2 cams too.
Guys, the cams do so much for the LNF.
Well, and you're doing valve springs at
the same time. At the same time. So
that's the big thing is that I've seen LNFs have problems on the dyno when they're 100% stock, just tuned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the valve springs are terrible.
Yeah, the valve springs are bad. Like,
and now it's over 20 years. All cars are almost near 20 years old.
In the day I remember was like 10 years ago. And Matt had an LNF on the dyno and he was like, this seems like it's floating the valves. So, I was install bay manager at the time. I sold the customer on some valve springs and it like picked up and fixed it. It was like a stock car. I think it had like a downpipe, but like
it's downpipe tunes. It's fairly simple.
I had the exact same situation with Matt and he's like, needs valve springs. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And it was like a really simple setup. We did the valve springs. Everything.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, like guys, like cams and valve springs, like Matt will tell you, like it's a huge game for these cars. So you could do it on a stock turbo car, and I think the Z2 cams are 1,000,000% worth it. 1,000,000% worth it.
And even going back to the LSJ too, same thing as LNF. Who was that article by? I have it saved. I've referenced it a bunch of times, but it was right when the LSJ came out, and Oh, it's killing me.
Is that Red Cobalt one article?
No, anyway, they went through dyno testing the LSJ, and they put different size blowers on it, and they put different variations of cams and valve springs, and just the valve springs itself like picked up a ton of power. I'll think of it eventually, but
D Mamba, do you recommend changing the coil packs when changing the spark plugs?
No,
never.
No.
100,000 mile OEM coil
so
packs could
bulletproof,
be
dude.
better than the brand new ones that you put on it.
Yep.
If a number 3 coil pack goes out, I just made up that number. Then buy one coil pack.
One
for that
OEM
cylinder.
coil pack. Yeah, don't replace them all. Like that ignition stuff like that. Don't fix it unless it's broke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep the build simple.
Ismail, honestly, where do you recommend starting? Okay, so this is
Intake and a tune.
Z04.
Stop.
Yes.
Z04.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yep.
Straight, like, honestly.
Ismail.
Kind of what we always wanted when the Sonic came out.
Yeah.
What is our cruise build series called? Is it Cruise Build Series
It
on
starts
YouTube?
with a Z04. God dang it.
We have a build series on a cruise that starts with a Z04.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Obviously, if you put a bigger turbo on it, you're going to have to get a tune. But
Yeah.
a tune in a Z04 is magical.
I'll-
Stock turbo is garbage.
Yeah.
I would
Then
love,
intercooler.
I would
Intercooler,
love
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yep.
some guy to come along and like he's got a cruise that he just drives to work every day, and he's like, man, my turbo went bad, maybe I'll try out ZZPerformance, and I sell him a Z04 on a stock car. How fun would that be?
Yes.
Because he would pull
Here.
out with the biggest
Grin.
gains
Yeah.
and grin on his face ever from just a turbo swap.
For sure.
And
All right.
injectors probably.
Well, think about it.
Probably put an injector in it.
It's also a reliability mod. The
Yes.
Z04 is the most reliable turbo on the market
Yes.
over stock
For the 1.4.
Agreed.
for the
Oh, yeah.
1.4.
For all our platforms. It's like
Essentially.
it's an amazing turbo.
That
so-
stock turbo was so horrible.
I'm gonna
all aspects.
put something out there that like is not talked about very much, but our motto is go fast, not broke. All right, how much does a cold air intake give you? I don't know, 10 or less. How much does a downpipe give you? 10 or less. Being honest. However, since it is a percentage gain, if you throw a big turbo on it, now your gains are huge.
Yeah.
Because
With those
now
same mods.
you just gained like 50 horse from the turbo.
Yeah.
So now the percentage gains for that downpipe, let's say, even though the kit comes with a downpipe, but you guys get where I'm probably going with this. The intercooler, gigantic gains. The colder intake,
series.
big gains.
In the series,
Everything
we
is
do
big.
that. In the series, you do that. We show the gains that the intercooler gave
Yes.
with the vehicle. So
Yeah,
guys,
the Cruise Build series had a Z04 as first mod. Well, I think we did one, like it was like a stock car and then a tuned car, and then it was a Z04
Yeah, you
car.
did, so we did the Yeti. We call it the Yeti because it's big, white, and ugly. It is, and we did a
It's okay
stock.
now.
Better. Stock, tuned, and then the very next video was a Z04 tuned along with the dyno, and then we did one mod.
And then
per video.
and then I believe the next video after the Z04
Fuel,
was
is it?
intercore.
Intercooler was a little bit later.
Anyway, we're not gonna.
It don't matter.
yeah.
It don't matter.
The
Yeah.
reason I said
there's like 5 videos.
The reason I said
Check 'em out.
intake is because I just love the sound.
It does.
It is
it
the
does.
most enjoyable mod you can do to a Sonic.
It's a smiles per gallon.
And to be fair,
yes.
you're gonna need it for the MAF on a Z04.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those things like if you do the intake, it's gonna be with you through the whole thing, and then you can add the Z04 right after it if you wanted.
Yeah, I see the logic.
Yeah.
Bo, Deuce has got a question for you. Oh, it just went off screen. He basically asked about a Regal and lowering tranny temps.
Oh,
Let's go. Yeah, we're good.
advocate lowering low transepts. First thing we need to confirm is your converter locking.
Yes.
Is your converter
Yes.
locking? So if you're going 60 miles an hour today with your cruise set or your foot on the gas, I want you to just press the brake pedal.
Yep.
As
A
soon
tiny
as
bit, just enough to light the brake lights.
literally just enough to light the brake light, because as soon as the brake lights come on, it's going to tell the converter to unlock. So you should see the RPMs jump about 400 RPM. If it doesn't jump 400 RPM, you know your converter's not locking.
Yep.
And that
Fix
is
what's
a
broke.
serious issue.
Yeah, it's a big
Fuel
that
mileage,
is 4
tranny
miles per
temps,
gallon gone,
like probably more.
and like
That's 30
40 to
guys.
50 degrees of tranny
Yeah,
temps.
it's so bad. So okay,
Really? They get that hot when it doesn't lock?
so confirm it's locking. Let's say it is locking. Next step,
Transpan.
Yep. Ryan makes a good point. We
Alu-
sell the
aluminum?
ZZP aluminum
That
transpan.
mod is so underrated.
It is
It's
so
frustrating.
underrated, and you know what the most underrated part about it is? It's got a dang drain plug on
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal because I am super religious about changing my transmission fluid. I change
All
it.
the other transmissions we work on don't have those.
Yeah.
And
So
it stinks.
if you want to try the tranny pan, you'll cut some temps with that, and you gain the drain plug. Not to mention you're gonna drop it out. You might as well just throw a shift kit in there because it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And then here you go. You got 8 quarts of fresh fluid and some in a cooled.
That's not 30
pan.
years old
Yeah.
at
Not
this
30
point.
years old,
yeah.
yeah.
From there, unfortunately, we don't offer a cooler kit, but any 40K transmission cooler you can find on eBay, Derail and True Cool make good stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
Don't
Add one of those.
Don't cheap out on your fittings and lines.
Yeah,
though.
please don't.
Yep, don't cheap out on that. I run 3/8 compression fittings on the factory line. The 3/8 compression fitting clips right onto the factory line. You can go to barb or you can go to -6 AN, which is what I would recommend.
Nice.
We got all -6 AN stuff
On the website.
And here's where the best part comes in, and is I would still run it through the factory radiator.
Nice.
So the factory radiator has a cooler in it. So what that's doing is also still cooling it, but it's also helping warm the
it.
fluid
Yeah,
to a certain
That's
extent.
huge.
And not warm it too much, but it does help it bring it up to temp because you don't want a tranny that runs too cold.
Yes, that's just as bad on the other
It
end.
is literally just as bad to run it too cold all the time. If you don't want to run it through the factory radiator, they sell what's called a thermal bypass, which is literally just a thermostat for your transmission that opens at a certain temp.
Yep.
And the same thing can be said to oil coolers as well.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
we sell our oil cooler adapter for the Ecotechs.
LSJ and
and-
LNF.
If you run that and you have a dedicated drag car or a track car or whatever, you know, you can just throw in a cooler. But the stock oil cooler is actually great for bringing that oil up to temp because if your oil's not up to temp, then the fuel's not vaporizing. So
It's,
you got to put
it's
a
a fine line
thermostatic-
you got to
yeah.
balance, and the best thing you can do is just have some kind of thermostat in it,
Yep.
or run it through the factory cooler. Ideally,
Uh,
I run it through the factory cooler. I used to run the thermal bypass a lot. I think it's great for a daily application, but I get in a lot of situations where I want the flow, and I don't want to have to be like, oh, the thermostat's not opening, or you know. So I run factory cooler and a 40K, and my transmission runs great.
Jason,
Hey Preston, let's hope the LA2 gains just as huge. FYI, we already have a
We already
ZO
did this.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah, we
Preston knows. He's been begging me for photos
Ah.
of our larger turbo
secret
on
sauce.
the
You must
LE2.
wait. Jason, what can an LSJ make? A lot.
A
That
lot.
is a very
898?
open question. Yeah, like
So
Because we already did it.
So Jason, if you're newer to the Cobalt, go find cobaltss.net and find the thread called ZZP Did What.
Yeah.
It is 16, 18 pages long, and read
So
through
much
the whole
information.
thing. It is. I love going back to that thread once a year and running back through it. Anyway, Cliff Notes, we made 898 wheel horsepower, and the only reason that we had to stop there was blowing head gaskets or lifting the head.
Yep.
Because this was 2009.
9.
Like 9.
It was a long time ago. Running on a manual boost controller, making all the torque. If we
made 54 pounds of boost.
if we could go back and do it with like a Cortex now and ramp that torque in, we would have made easily over 1,000. Al made, he never dynoed it at full half mile tilt, but I mean 40 plus PSI on the half mile. The Ecotech, just like I said, Carl Brunette running fives is on a GMR block. He's not even on a billet block.
No, GMR block.
And he's running fives at 240 in the
What's
quarter mile.
What's the difference on the GMR block?
Basically just a full
They cement cast. All
Cement
that
cast,
stuff. Like,
yeah.
you like know about
drag
jackets and stuff
drags
like that, yeah.
setup. But Rocco, the actual. So are you talking about your tensioner pulley, the tensioner bracket, the tensioner damper? Because there's a few different things in the system. Just replace the tensioner dampener, and then damper. Sorry, and then go with our ZZP adjustable tensioner.
So, yeah, a few things. I'm gonna ignore a few of them real quick. I'll get to that one in just a second. Jason, Spellick, we have one. It's called
Rowdy.
It's enthusiastically called Rowdy. Just start KO for a car.
It's not as rowdy anymore.
Yeah, she's not as rowdy anymore, but she's
It did used to make like 460.
It made a lot of power on, like it did a lot of our ZFR testing and stuff like that. But
then it kind of became the shop HHR.
Yeah, because
like,
we transport
it's not
parts
really
around.
anymore though. I can't get anybody to drive the dang thing. Nobody
That's because
drives
the seating position is the worst designed car ever made.
I mean, I fit in it.
I like it. I drive it now and then. Jason,
considering I'll never finish my base model.
you would never finish.
Maybe I need to drive.
If I sent a company-wide email right now, I was like, "Somebody please drive the HHR home." Nobody would do it.
That's not true.
No.
Do it then.
I'll take it this weekend.
There it is. Look, that's when to drive it. Just ask. Jason, hey, what's the stock numbers? 205 versus 260?
I don't get into that.
Well, I'm just no. He didn't say any specific rules or anything.
That's true.
Why does it make more? Let's see. What a tune. What does the LSJ gain? Like 10 horsepower? Oh, look, I gained 40 horsepower. Why am I making more horsepower than you? Oh, I don't know. Probably because it's an LNF.
Hey, wait. He's been faster in the quarter mile than you.
So I've been faster than a half mile to him.
That's what I'm saying. You got the back and forth.
Just move the goalpost. Move the goalpost.
Put it over here.
I'll say this for all of our guys out there. I don't care about drag racing. I don't like drag racing. Ain't my thing. We go on the highway or do some half mile. I got you.
Hey, Raging Snail. Max Boost recommended full bolt time with stock internals. We need way more details, dude.
Yeah,
not much.
Well,
like what fuel are you running? What do your scans look like? There is so much. Like on the 2-liter Camaro, that is a scan and remote tune only car.
Yeah, for sure.
There is no mail order tunes for that car. We need scans so we know how far we can turn it up.
Well,
but I'm going to say somewhere between 16 and maybe 20 pounds.
Yeah. You saw the CDO4. It kind of is similar to KO4. Efficiency range. So
similar.
Yeah, on good quality fuel, 18 to 23. Somewhere over there. Good fuel.
Yep.
Poor quality fuel, we gotta turn the boost
and
down a little bit.
It's tough because so many of these LTGs, some of them are rippers, other ones are
not
plagued from the factory.
Well, and we can't blame it on the LTG because believe it or not, we've seen that from all of our platforms.
Yeah.
There's a lot
that is something we take for granted and forget.
Yeah.
And that every single time we start a new platform, that is a terrible car, and they all blow up.
The 300
blah,
is the same thing. People seen 300 was a weak engine. Now it's like, oh yeah, the stock box 400 easy.
It's so funny. That is true. When people were over pulling in 3800s back in the day, they were a terrible engine.
Gone. Yep.
Like you guys, I don't know how many of you guys, I know at least one of you in here knows this, but like one of our first mods we sold for the Cobalts were smaller pulleys.
Yeah.
And the hottest seller of those pulleys was the 2.5 pulley.
Well, we ran into a guy at Tail of the Dragon 2 years ago, and he was still mad at us for letting him buy
letting him blow up his car. Yeah. We sold pulleys, and everybody's like, "Oh, smallest pulley I can buy. Okay, I'll buy that."
Yeah. I just want to say, Noah Hammond said the HHR SS wheels are the best wheels from the factory.
Yes.
Wrong. LNF stock Cobalt wheels are 100% better.
I agree 100%.
I like HHR wheels.
I don't.
But like
LNF stock wheels.
LNF stock wheels. That's why everyone wants them.
They're
because
fantastic.
But they're better.
HHR's better.
No, it's not. You're
They're
wrong.
polished.
Nope.
They look good.
God, LNF wheels, man. That is
the number one
wheel.
The number one Delta chassis wheel. Hands down, if you try to fight me, I will suplex you.
So
I'm getting suplexed today.
Yes, you are.
I think you guys are both right. The LNF wheel is fantastic and the best on a Cobalt, and the HHR wheel is the best on an HHR because I've been thinking about it a lot. I got an HHR.
Oh, LNF was like
and I used to really want a Cobalt wheel on it, right?
Yeah, you do.
Nope.
Rowdy has it.
Nope.
I kid you not. You walk up to that car in a parking lot on HHR wheels when they're clean,
and they stand out.
Oh my goodness!
Pop.
Sarah just told me the other day. She's like, I don't know why this little HHR is the best looking car in Meyer parking lot, but I can't wait. I love walking out to it.
Like HHR wheels like that are 300 guys that go to classic car meets.
The HHR.
Hold on, and Tyler, because Tyler likes weird minivans.
Well,
that's about the only thing that Tyler likes.
Hey, Nick Soberry. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. I apologize if I did. I think that's the second time you asked, and your last time got ran over, so let's hit it. Gains from charge pipes and intercooler on an LNF. All right, this is not a simple question.
It's not.
Because if you do a dyno pull, there's maybe like 10 horsepower gained.
Maybe.
But the problem is that you don't do a dyno pull on the street. You do 3 gears of full throttle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when your turbo is putting out like 350 degree temps,
Oh,
probably,
Yes.
yeah.
So
like an intercooler is
It's
huge.
huge.
So by the time you're third gear, and I don't mean third gear, I mean like 3
Third
gears
gear,
deep.
Yeah.
Like an intercooler is probably giving you 50 horsepower.
Guys, so and this I love this question. I get it quite a bit too in email. For pretty much any car, any of the factory turbo cars, a intercooler from like SRT4 Neons, all these other cars, it's not a power mod. It's not a I gain 50 horsepower. Granted, some could be cars out there like that.
Yeah.
I don't get this, but it's heat soaking. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the biggest
Subaru guys
guys.
get
Big
gains.
big
from
gains
intercoolers.
from it. Like it is a reliability, a cooling mod. It is a mod that is very important. The 3800, the biggest and most important mod on that car, not arguably, is the intercooler.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
what?
sure.
But what did you see IAT2s when you put that sensor in Zoom's car before you put the
before?
intercooler? Yeah.
So yeah, we ran Zoom's car, no intercooler, short stack, full stack, and
It was
I actually know
it was eye opening.
it was over 140 degree temp drop
Jesus Christ.
going from a no intercooler to a stage 2.
Every car,
Over. It maxed the temp probe that we had.
yeah, and I think
every factory car on the
that's
planet.
what. And I was trying to remember what it maxed at,
Yeah.
but it was a lot.
It was like almost 300 degrees.
Yeah,
guys, this is Tim B quote.
and I can tell you on the 2.5, the IATs at the
Ugh.
at the top of it. No, on our
Yeah.
current intercooler,
2.5 core.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Yeah.
On
I
not
thought-
the pulley,
I
not the
was
pulley,
about to say,
not the pulley. On the 2.5 core, IATs at the top of a third gear pull on Zoom's car are touching high 160s, and I think that core cuts it in half. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like
Easy.
high
Oh, yeah.
300s to 160s.
Yes, because funny thing is,
Tim, give
the
the
numbers
quote.
the numbers I'm quoting are based on our supercharger tester, which was like a 90
Yep.
horse electric
Yep.
motor
It was
and
really
this
cool.
crazy monstrosity.
What I-
And with that motor and the pulley combo we had, we couldn't even spin the blower to as fast of speeds as we were spinning it on Zoom's car.
Yeah.
And it was maxing the temp probe, which maxed at like 140 degrees too.
give us a quote.
So
What I
give
found-
us a quote that you always say about intercoolers and all these cars on the.
just the part about like every performance car
There it is.
has an intercooler
Yeah.
except a 3800.
Everyone.
Like,
What I found on the 3800 is I could never get the IATs colder than the coolant temp, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So
okay.
frustrating at the same time, because we're running a 160 thermostat. And I'm like, dang, this intercooler's working, but I can't get sub 160s. Coolant temp's 167. That's where they run. Funny enough, IATs are 168, 169, 172. So what does that tell you? Why does our stage 2 kit come with a thermostat?
Yeah.
Because if your stock thermostat is running 205 degrees, what the heck you think you're going to take? There ain't going to be lower than 205, I promise you that.
How you heat soak stuff is you don't have airflow. So your car's sitting there idling. This is an ATS-V big problem, but I guarantee the 3800 is just as bad. Is that you're sitting there idling and you're moving so little air through the intake that all that heat is coming up from the engine and just heat soaking the bottom of the intercooler core, the whole cavity.
Yep.
And then as soon as you punch it, like on an ATS-V, you punch it and the MATs just drop. They'll drop the whole quarter mile pull. And you know that they're not dropping, they're actually increasing. It's just taking you that much airflow to see
Yeah.
what the attempts actually are.
And that's actually a super quick segue to what I think you guys were talking about before. Like, there have been times where we have dialed a car in. Tim, you especially, you've dialed a car in on the street. Everything is perfect. You get on the dyno, all of a sudden it's either rich or the car is not acting right. Because, guys, the dyno is not the magical place. Sometimes doing it on the street is a better thing than doing it on a dyno.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, you're not getting that airflow for a lot of cars. ATS-V, 300,
LSJs.
LSJs,
Yeah.
really important.
It sucks we don't have a thermostat for the LSJ, but bang for your buck on the 3800. I think a thermostat's $299, $499.
Yeah.
Like
Plus a gasket, yeah.
to be able to keep your engine operating, 20 to 40 degrees cooler, and then I'll probably see that reflected in the IATs is incredible in my opinion. And it just gave me great appreciation for the thermostat.
It's a simple mod.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to kind of go back to Ryan's, we have these, like, I'm going to call it a snail fan for the dyno.
Yep.
This snail fan, like, that thing probably puts out a tenth of the airflow of cruising 60 miles an hour down the highway.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that thing is
Oh, yeah.
not moving the air. That air is hitting the first heat exchanger, whatever that is, and probably 30% going through it, and then it just goes underneath the car. Like, intercoolers, or I'm sorry, dynos are, they're good to make a dyno sheet, but that's not really how to tune properly.
No, yeah, I just had the blue cobalt on the dyno the other day, and end of a third gear pull, IAT2s were like 130, which isn't bad, but I
On the
go
street?
rip it on the highway, it's like 40 degrees above ambient.
Yeah.
There's
Wait.
just air density, all that.
Shouts to Tyler's
we've-
LSJ.
Hey guys, so before you say that, Bo, I just want to let guys know you may be hearing a sound, and the microphone may be picking it up.
Yeah.
ZZP has been making very, very large changes in this last 5-6 months. So guys, we currently have a all-wheel drive dyno here at the building, not just across the street. We have a new dyno, we have a new parking lot. We're doing a lot of upgrades to make the experience for everyone here, not just us, but you customers, far better. So
Yeah, building extension.
Building
The dyno bay is 100% brand new.
100%.
Matt loves it.
Brand
He's
new
been
a couple months
dynoing
ago.
like crazy.
I know.
I can't believe he's on it again.
Yeah.
That's what
Matt's
I was
been
laughing
great.
about. He's
Yeah.
been on it 3 times
I'm
today.
saying, it's so
I used
much
to have to twist everybody's arm to get on the dyno, and everybody's like, "I'll dyno."
Yeah.
I'm going to go out there and dyno everything.
Yeah, it is closer. Everything is there. If you guys are in the waiting room, you're probably going to hear your own cars.
Yeah.
Go yeeting, because guys, we hear a very special car. We can't say what it is, but we hear a very special car on the dyno right now.
We can literally throw a football to it.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was a window through
No
here.
more having to drive across the street, thank goodness.
it is a better thing.
Pump Stop Tot. Interesting name. We have been well over 400 wheel horsepower on the stock LTG, and it's not like we blew it up. So I don't know what the furthest we've gone with it, but I know we've
404.
been over 400.
404.
404?
404.
Yeah, and like with tuning now, like I'm sure we can make well more than that. It's just a very sensitive engine. So
Yeah.
One wrong tank of gas or one
Yeah.
wrong tank of
Yeah.
anything or one bad everything, and that whole engine's going completely.
yeah.
So it's one of those things that you don't do it, you don't go into it.
I want to touch on Paul Clark, and I don't know if that's the Paul Clark we
Hey,
know.
that's
It is,
Paul
yeah,
Clark.
that's Paul.
Paul, you know the answer to this.
1,800-pound S-Box.
Okay, so what all needs to be replaced in the head for a cam and spring install? The
Nothing.
cam and
Nothing.
Cam and
Literally nothing.
springs.
Cam and springs,
Just
dude.
do valve seals just to be safe. because
Absolutely
your engine's
valve
not
seals.
low miles.
Yeah.
But valve seals, valve springs, retainers, done. Good
Also-
to go. Let me crank your rev limiter up. Let's finish tuning that thing.
D-Mamba,
It's been like 2 years.
Oh, he's
Email
gotta be-
me
Yeah.
instead of Tim.
Yeah. Hey,
He won't email you either. Like,
No,
we
he
gotta
won't.
finish that darn car.
Hey, Chunky Mango. Sorry, dog. We don't put these on the dyno, so our new dyno room stays clean.
Yeah. Sebastian Wagner, we love your hood. That thing is dope.
Is that sweet vented
Yep.
one?
Yeah,
that
the
thing's sweet.
tri-
I'm gonna
red.
take personal thing because he was talking to me about painting it, not painting it his body color. I'm like, no, paint that body color. You will thank me later, and he did.
Yeah, I love the hood.
I've
Love the
seen a
hood.
couple comments on the Blue Sonic, so I just want to
Yeah.
touch on that.
You just drove it home last night.
Blue Sonic's doing better than ever. Al, it was his daily driver for probably 2 years, doing a lot of R&D on the Z04 Turbo.
That Z04 probably has close to 40,000 on it.
I was just gonna take the words out of your mouth and say 35. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Blue Sonic's good. We're cleaning it up. Al used it.
Oh,
Al
yeah.
used the heck out of it. So yeah, we're doing
Every
a
day
lot
it
of
looked like he
testing
was
on
moving.
it. It's It's still our Sonic Z04, I would say, frontline runner for all R&D parts. It's got some cool ignition stuff on it right now. It's got updated charge pipes on it right now. We're always shaking down parts on that car and putting R&D miles on it. It's kind of like the Yeti Cruise.
Yeah. It's auto. It's
Some of these cars, they do fall by the wayside for you guys as far as at home, but I think when they do that, it's just because they're putting in work.
I think he's asking about the other thing.
Yeah,
with the
the
blue
I think he's talking about the all-wheel drive thing.
The all-wheel drive thing? I hate to tell you, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's like we bought all the parts. We have all the parts.
We don't
but
have
we're
all
looking,
the parts. We have a rear beam.
No, we have all the parts.
We have all the parts,
We have
but
the
then
trans,
we kind of got to a point to where it's like, all right, like we have all these things that need to be R&D'd. Like we have to prioritize realistic parts for the car.
There is no
and
way
that just got benched. For
There
a
is
while.
no way that we can make it a marketable product to customers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just like Trifecta, they have a running all-wheel drive Sonic. Cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. But that's it.
Yeah.
Because,
I didn't know we had a transmission for it. We could have done it a long time ago.
We've got everything, but there's no reason for us to take the time away from everyone who's doing 900 other things to make a video.
It's a lot of fun, and we like functional.
Yeah.
Not fun.
And we need to make it replicable for you guys. Yeah. So that's the main thing. So do you want to answer? Okay. So guys, I just want to let everyone know that's watching. Joanne just, wait, where's Al? So guys, we just want to say Al is still around, not here unfortunately.
He's not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. Al has decided to go and pursue a different career path. I don't think it's a secret, he's being an EMT. So that's what Al wanted to do with his life, and we are here to support him. He's still in front of the shop.
Al's always wanted to help people.
Yeah, he loves helping people.
Into helping people.
Yeah, and that's kind of took presence over cars. So he's still around. He still sometimes answers questions. He's still there, but he decided to move away from modding cars and racing. So that's right. There's no secret about it. He's doing something different. Everything was amicable.
Still a friend.
Still a friend.
Yeah, stopped by 2 days ago.
Yeah, and he'll be back Monday to get more parts. So
I know
he's still in Michigan. We all still talk to him constantly.
It's a weird world because it's hard to imagine us walking away, but some people, that's where they want to take their life.
And
people change.
And people change. Yeah,
people change and grow.
And there's
like
nothing wrong with that. We are more than supportive. We love to see him. But yeah, now I'm your LSJ tuner.
Nate, more L&F guys. Let's go.
Nate Ashcraft, ATI damper into a Kappa. Unfortunately, no. I think they used to actually make one.
They used to, but
they cut it. The reason why is your power steering. The Kappa is the one car that has a
power steering belt.
A power steering pump.
Chevy 5.3, it's got a separate belt.
If you wanted to retrofit an E-rack into it, then you could probably run the ATI that's for the non-power steering.
Yeah.
But that seems like that could be a lot of work.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
Blue Sonic is a stock long block still.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got the fastest auto Sonic of any shop, and I believe this guy drove it.
Yeah,
so still the fastest automatic
to add
Sonic.
Some light to the situation. That's what I told Al, because he loved the Blue Sonic, and that was his unit, and that's what he drove. And so, although it was Al's, somehow I drove it the day we raced it 2 years ago. And I took the quarter-mile record with it, and I think it still stands for automatic Sonic.
No one's going to beat it.
Quarter-mile record.
No other shop is going to beat it. No other people just getting a brand new shop are going to beat it. No other people supposedly making parts are going to beat it.
Chill. All right.
My bad.
So I remember the day, we prepped the Sonic out to go run this auto record pass. I pulled all the interior out of it, put the wheels on it, drove it to the track, yada, yada, and another. We had the Z04 on it for the first time ever. We click off world record pass. Al's like, hey, we need test miles on the Z04. I'm going to take it to Indiana. I'm like, sure, dude, no problem. I never got to drive the Blue Sonic again. From that day, I go to the track, race it, take the quarter-mile record. So when Al left, I was like, hey, give me that thing back.
Yep.
Yeah. There it is.
I think I can get us a date here.
Chunkier Mango, why are Sky Solstice worth $10K? You want to know why? Because that thing is a amazing car. Like, I hated mine and loved it at the same time. Like if you go to an autocross with just some basic, road course, whatever, that thing is probably one of the fastest car there.
They're fast.
Like
they are fast.
Ridiculously fast. The ergonomics of them are freaking terrible.
Depending on what you got.
The interior placement of things are stupid, but when it comes to racing them, they are ridiculously fast. And it's a rear-wheel drive 4-cylinder turbo car.
It's the LNF, not an LSJ, so you're already making more power out of the box. Everything's great, and it's a great car.
Like mine took FTD at an autocross, like one of the bigger, badder autocrosses.
Not trying.
And I had issues.
It's funny there wasn't a Regal there that day.
Ooh, baby. Guys, Bo has been on the winner seat. Bo has beat Tyler every time he's going out
there. I've been throwing all around.
He's got so much more power than me.
He's like 100 more horsepower.
I got a lot of weight on you too, Biles.
But I bet I beat you at Gingerman, which you haven't been to yet.
Okay.
Got him!
Lock it in for 24.
Brandon Davidson, where's Ashley been? Ashley has left the company many years ago. Or not years? A year ago?
Man, I got to tell you guys, like, I am amazed that Ryan is still here, honestly, because customer service is a ridiculously difficult job.
I appreciate that, too.
Like,
we were just
front lines.
This
dude is front line.
He's front line ZZP soldier.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really appreciate that, guy.
Like, and some people can't handle it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should we rate
Oh, guys. It's about time.
455.
Rate our rides.
Guys, sorry if we didn't get to your questions. We'll try again. But now, we time to rate some rides in this piece.
In this piece.
I am now excited for Tyler v. Bo. Gingerman 2024.
This is how
they talking stuff. I love it.
I love shop rivalries. I've been wanting one. If this is gonna arise, let's do it. When I'm laying on my back in the garage, I need the motivation.
He does. He does.
And
Tyler.
Hey, did you do that valve train tweak on my Sonic? Did that get done in this last head?
What tweak ski?
The little tweak ski to the valve train ski. We can't talk about it yet.
Talk about it yet. Oh, what secrets?
Oh, did we do that yet? Because I really I feel like you might be holding me back a little bit.
Sorry, Tim. On the recent rebuild, I'm just trying to keep your pistons from touching the head because you're like, let's deck this and deck this and deck this and deck this, and you're like, we need quench, and we took the head off the last time, and Boltman goes, no wonder this thing ran good.
Man, you guys, all I gotta say is the amount of money I've invested to my personal car in R&D for the company is
many
astronomical
dollars.
lately.
Watched the video we released.
I didn't even know.
But we've learned a lot, and obviously we roll this right back into you guys.
Yeah, guys.
So
once the stuff tested, you gonna
we will have a recipe for you to do what I did.
Mm-hmm. Before we get too back on track, I need to race some rides.
All right,
we're gonna rate a ride here.
What do we got, Mike?
You guys got to remember, this is how Ryan gets his aggression out.
While he pulls it up, what's the standards for Tyler Bow race? How many laps? 3 laps, just best.
Why am I? I'm not including.
No. They're doing their own rivalry, Tim. You got to get your own rival.
Can we do a trivalry?
No,
that's rivalry.
Yeah.
To be fair, it'll be easier if he's not in it.
Tim has the most experience out of all of us at Gingerman.
What about a forvery?
There we go. There we go.
I don't have to come back and hurt some feelings.
LNF.
The last time that
1-4.
The last
1-8.
that would be. That's a platform rivalry. 1-4, 300, LSJ, LNF. The last time there was LSJ, LNF on track.
You heard that, Mike.
Now that's a video right there.
So, best track time on Gingerman in the spring?
Yep.
Oh,
All I'm saying is the last time Tyler had his LSJ on track and I'm at LNF on track, I kind of left Tyler real far behind until I broke an axle, and then Tyler left me behind.
So, just overall best time for an open track day?
Yeah.
I think we have to add some different, this is an advantage for Bo, obviously, but we kind of have to have more than one thing.
It
has to be king of something. Maybe.
Let's not talk about it now. That's another podcast idea.
Okay.
Let's talk about it now. We need to race some rides.
Best time.
We need a rivalry.
Ride's about to flip the table.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. So who is this, Mike?
This is. I hope he's in the chat.
Yeah, I didn't see him today.
Dan North has requested that we rate his ride. We're going to hold good on our word. I haven't seen him in the chat, but
Okay.
we told him we would.
He's normally
Dan
a regular.
And what's
tuning
the
with
number,
him right
Mike?
now.
I need a number.
He gave us a 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
But he did email me and say, if Ryan needs a 3, let it rip.
Okay. That's what I need to hear.
There we go.
Let's see.
All right, Dan North. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah!
Oh my God.
What?
This is why you're asking me to. I get
Yeah.
all mixed
What
up.
is
I'm-
this?
Please tell me this is platform based somehow.
It is.
Next picture.
Like I said, I am
Yep.
I am tuning with him right now.
Oh. Yeah, when do you see this engine bay?
It's a Triumph Spitfire.
Can you tell what's going on yet?
Yeah, you
Nope.
can't quite see it.
It's a LS.
Yeah.
You can see it's a LSJ.
Yeah, there it is.
That
I'm
is
gonna need a minute. I cannot get up for a few minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
This
This
thing
is
is
so cool.
this thing is kind of
Your
sweet.
airbox is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All's I can even, dude. You spent some time on this.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, this
Look at
is
the work that was put into this.
Now, see, I would
Dan,
say
you are my hero.
this car is extremely like era specific.
oh yeah.
And that's what, because usually I don't like old cars like this, but you updated it with some like actual stuff. That's really cool, man. I would get some different color wheels personally, and then
I didn't even see the
All
wheels.
right, let's go back.
Tim,
Let's go back.
yeah, Tim.
I like them.
I like
I
That
like
is
it, too.
that's era, man.
No,
Yeah.
that is era. I would think I would do silver, just like a classic silver, straight up silver.
I am normally 100% on that team. I think the black works here.
I think
may
the only
work.
I think the only thing he needs is maybe a spacer in the rear because the front
Oh
fitment
yeah,
looks
the
spicy.
front from is
but the
spot on.
rear-
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah,
Dan,
you're right.
just in case, like I don't know how tight the fitment is, but like let's say you wanted to like turn corners with it and those wheels are not wide, and I don't know any of the details, but you can have wheels widened.
Yes,
Yeah,
factory
and-
wheels can be widened.
Yep.
And
Are those factory wheels?
man, no, I don't think so, but that thing is beautiful.
I bet
Yeah.
that's fun.
I've got nothing negative to say about
yeah,
it.
I don't have
like-
any. I don't have any real negatives besides it's just a weird
Holy
car, but it's
crap.
kind of a cool weird car.
So I was talking to
I'm
Dan
not a
about this
verbal guy,
week.
but the same rules.
Yeah, it's
And-
pretty cool.
My father-in-law has I can't remember the year, but it's an MGB.
Yeah.
British Racing Green manual, has all of 65 horsepower.
Yeah,
And all I want is one day for him to be done with it and be like, "Hey, you want to buy it?" And I buy it and I put an LSJ in
That'd be
it.
sweet.
And
That'd be
so
a sweet
this is
setup.
like very, very close.
Give us that engine bay pick, Mike.
Yeah, go back to the engine bay. I want to see this. I really do like it. That airbox is cool. You know what? I'll say this. Needs a dress-up kit. I think a dress-up kit in orange would be real sweet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And I kind of think that we need to do something with the coil cover. Like this is just a maybe like the lines on the LSJ. I've never liked the lines on the LSJ
I
coil
never
cover.
understood why they did those.
I don't know either. Like maybe some cooling.
The wire job is good. It needs loom.
Yeah, the wire job does need a little bit of loom right there. I do see that. But yeah, I think I would get rid of the black lines on there. And like I know ZZP may be doing something eventually, but I think a coil cover would do magic for that engine.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that he already did some suspension stuff too.
It looks
It looks like
tubular.
it.
Like it's
and
got some
coil
tubular
over.
arms. Like
Yeah, that's.
Dan, I don't have anything negative to say.
Yeah.
I think he autocrosses
Yeah,
it too.
I'd
Tim is
say
strong.
like straight 9.5 out of 10, brother. Except it doesn't have turbo.
I'm even fine with the blower on it. Like that's awesome. Like
Why does
This-
the snout
this
look
is-
so long? Is that not a normal M62?
No,
No,
it's
it's because
so he had to
the-
cut. You have to cut the inlet in, and then you have to move it up here. So it's
So the
coolant hoses
overall
and-
dimension
yes,
looks weird.
So it looks weird because the blower is usually like that part's the longest part. It's usually like this long.
All right.
this
cut it
this
down.
is something I've always wanted to do.
Yep.
Literally take a 60s Roadster
Mhm.
and platform swap it. I don't know what engine I would choose, but
See,
like,
mine's a Corvair. Mine's a Corvair
Oh,
because
Corvair
it's
would be
rear
cool.
engine,
yeah,
and you can literally
Interesting.
just put a subframe in it,
yeah.
whatever you may be.
What's
Tyler
yours?
knows what mine is.
Yeah.
It's an 88 Nova, or an 88 Corolla that's badged as a Nova.
That's
It's
it.
a weird little car that GM did with Toyota. They had a hatchback version. Oh.
It's like the Toyota Cavalier.
If
Yep.
mine wasn't a Corvair, it'd be a mid 80s
G-Body Malibu.
Ooh,
Mike's got one.
And I think it'd be almost better with an Ecotec because they all have small blocks or LSs.
Yeah.
And if you just heard a Malibu make like, I don't know.
Yeah. Turbo noises, yeah.
I've always wanted to do the old school. I wish I had more details on it. The old school Jaguar, that era with that long front end and the short back end.
Yep.
Here's the thing is when you look at the cars, they're kind of ugly because the bodies like roll under.
Yep.
But what I was thinking is if you did like a wide body to where instead of it rolling under, it just kind of went flat around the tires.
Yep.
And then you could run a really wide tire because you kind of get stuck with the wheel wells.
What about like a Datsun 270?
Oh, of course. Datsun.
Everyone.
I'm going to say
wants one.
because I don't really like old cars like that, but like either like a C3 or a like 240 or 270 or 280Z, one of those.
Yeah.
Swap
I don't know how Datsun went out of business because everything Datsun is amazing. Like even that
they're
truck.
so cool.
What is a truck like a 720 or something like that? Those things are cool.
The Datsun 510, I do love the
510s.
Datsun 510s.
Yeah.
Jordan Connor's car.
Anything else, Mike?
Let's see. Okay. I will say I'm not a fan of the exhaust.
That's kind of era.
Better.
That's era.
I don't.
I can see
I know it is, but I've always hated that when you just see pipes hanging out like that. I'm like, put a muffler in there, put like something like.
I'd love like a little spoiler on there.
Yeah,
a little
like sweet, like a little just small guy.
Duck bill or something, yeah. But
that is sweet. I don't have anything really negative to say.
It's cool.
But again,
Your paint guy knows what he's doing. I'll say that.
Yeah, that paint job looks like you spent some serious money on it,
guys. And this is what we love.
And I love how
people
when semi-gloss or matte on the bumpers and all the.
Yes, the satin,
because you
you
notice
can see the reflection.
The picture is so great, and you can see that those stripes, like they did it right.
Yeah.
They layered the paint right. Like I don't see any ripple.
Nope.
They didn't paint it and then lay another coat
Nice
on
and
it for the
flat.
stripe. Like he did it right. He filled it in.
Yeah.
That
This
paint
is
job
cool.
was.
I love the people. He took the time in this car, which I can appreciate. It's not my style of car, but I can appreciate that, and I really like that.
Yep.
Mike, very quickly, do we have one more? Can you give us one more?
Well, I wasn't planning on it.
I know you weren't. That's why I'm throwing it at you real quick. Super
Yeah,
quick.
we need to
I don't
have
care.
something
These
negative
boys
to say.
have to
I
I
think.
need. Yeah. I
I
need.
just-
If I can dig a 3 up for you.
Can you dig me up a 3 real quick? Because that car's too nice. Like that was
Well,
too nice.
while he's digging, we'll go around. What are you guys doing this weekend?
I got a 3 for you.
Man, I just got back from vacation, so I'm just
Laying
chilling out.
low.
Like, whew,
What about
chilling
you,
out.
Tyler?
I have to do a lot of things around the house. I have neglected everything, all the leaves, all that.
Yep.
Hopefully making some progress on the base model, but I'm sure I won't
No,
do
you're not.
that.
Watching some F1 probably.
Watching some F1.
You know that's got to happen.
And that's it.
Team Louis.
All right, I got a 3 for you boys.
Okay, quick 3.
Yep.
All right, who is
Sorry,
it?
Bill.
This is Tyler Fonda.
Honda.
And I do not remember anything about it.
He wants a 3?
It's a 3. Oh, it's an HHR.
All right. Okay, here we go. I like the premise. The idea of him doing something a little bit different on an HHR is pretty neat. The wheel gap is far too much, brother. Like,
You can't get it any lower without rubbing, I promise.
no, you can get a little lower than that. You
I
can get,
don't like the wheels.
no, the
I
wheels
don't
suck.
like them either.
Sorry, brother. With that, the wheels
They're
really suck, dude.
too.
It's like too
throwing,
vetty.
throwing star kind of.
Well, they're like kind of like tire rack.
It looks like they need to be 24s and on a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
work on the HHR.
The hood scoop
Cool.
is that a functional hood scoop? Because I know a lot of people that get that and it's not, and I don't like it.
The HHR with how the airbox is, it could be made functional.
Could be made functional for sure.
But I don't know if that is.
Well, no. The snorkel. Oh, if you do the
Because
top,
the
then
airbox
you-
is on top of the, like
You
it's
can
on
space
top.
the box
Yeah,
out,
if you space the box out,
See,
but if
yeah.
you do
hood,
that,
the hood is, it just looks like you stuck it there.
yeah,
That's the problem.
that's the issue with it.
I
That's-
like the color. I like the
I like-
black
I like the
headlights.
Color is phenomenal. I like how aggressive the front bumper is. You got some speed holes in it. That's
Yeah, give us
cool.
a few more picks, real quick, Mike.
Not a great picture.
Not a
Not
great
a great
picture.
picture.
Move on, next picture.
Yeah, it's all
I don't like speed holes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Those are bigger. Those are big speed holes.
People
That's
hear
a
me out on the speed
5-inch
hole thing.
saw.
All right. As I kind of said earlier, like air is it's a strong force.
Mhm.
You do not need speed holes. Do you see all the open area to the front of that car? Do you look at a freaking NASCAR? Does a NASCAR have like 10 square feet of opening to the front? No, it has inches.
Yeah.
Inches of air.
Yeah.
Like,
Very strategic location.
so like I never add holes to the front of a car unless it's like teeny tiny holes to like
Get a toe
routed
through or
right to the
something,
air
yeah.
box. Like on my Sonic, like I drilled some little teeny holes that you won't even notice.
Yeah.
And then routed them to the air box for some airflow. But
What I don't like too, like I don't, you know, the old school intercoolers that come in at the bottom, like this one does. I hate those. Like I like the ones that come in the center, like you know, that have rounded stuff versus getting one that's way too big. Like I think this is an old Crazy Steve intercooler.
Either Crazy Steve or a TR10.
Yeah, they are way too big and way too tall for no reason. You can, like, that is going to make no more power or no more cooling efficiency than our ZZP when that bolts in where the stock one goes. And our one's the most.
our
important.
ZZP
Yeah, we've
LNF
made
intercooler
700.
is amazing.
Yes.
It takes so much power to need more intercooler than
A
that.
lot
That
of
thing is
power.
so big because it's not just the upper dimensions. That thing's like thick too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like what, 4.5 inches thick?
Yeah, it's the thickness of it that matters. So I do like the grill. The headlights are good. I love the color of the car. I think
The color is
The color
sick.
is cool.
Sick. The
So
jade
cool.
green.
I
You have any more
like
pictures, Blake?
the muted style of the car.
Yes.
The dark, everything is dark. Like
I would go
You know, I
silver
like
wheels,
that.
though.
You
I
know
would
what?
go
You know
Silver
what would just pop it like a silver RPF one.
you know what
Yes.
pop it? Maybe a LNF Cobalt wheel.
Yes!
That too.
My man!
I can't argue with it.
My
Yeah.
man!
See, so like HHR wheels for me, classy,
Yeah.
but like they wouldn't look good on that car. The
No.
LNF wheel, Cobalt wheel would be better.
Yeah, I would agree because it's
Yeah.
It
What?
just doesn't quite
Will
fit.
Kish a 502 in one of those Jags? That's crazy. Send me
502
pictures,
big
man.
block?
Send me
Wow.
pictures.
Yeah.
Bo, what
So
are you doing
curious.
this weekend? Because we didn't.
No problem. So this weekend, it's my wonderful girlfriend's birthday.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sarah!
It's been a thing for all of our relationship that basically the whole weekend is hers.
That's relationships.
And
it.
you know, I couldn't be more joyed to do that. But
I don't know how I feel about what you just said, so I hope she's not watching.
no, if she is, she'll agree. I mean, we're going out tonight. We're going out tomorrow. I'm cleaning the GXP all weekend. Her car got a new turbo today.
Let's
Yep.
get it on. I can feel it right, baby.
But and besides from spending good time with my lovely lady, putting the GXP away,
Bo gonna be like, hey
And-
guys, so I'm having a kid.
doing some leaves. Nah.
Mark your calendars.
What's 9 months from now?
And then I had one more thing, but that's about it.
All right.
Birthday stuff, and put cars away.
I feel it, man.
RD, hit us.
Ryan, well, hold on. Ryan Brown, Flex Fuel E85. Flex Fuel means you can run any
Oh, yes.
mix of gasoline and E85.
E85.
So Flex Fuel is kind of like the allowance to be able to run either fuel.
People, okay, to elaborate on that super quick. Flex.
Dan just made it.
Dan, you're gonna
Oh, Dan, you gotta
Rewind.
go back. Gotta rewind. Flex fuel is made for flexible. Your fueling is can be flexible. People call flex fuel E85 because a lot of cars come with a factory. E85 is E85. Technically, it's not flex fuel.
No.
It is.
No.
So, but the ability to
Yep.
have a flex fuel vehicle with a PCM and stuff, that's what it is.
Yep.
What I'm doing this weekend, I, like Tyler, have a lot of leaves to clean up. I should be mowing a lot and a lot of dog poop to clean up and a lot of other stuff.
I
My
got
D&D group is not playing until Sunday, so I'm mad. And I have a lot of stuff. I should be. I don't know if they're watching, but I kind of have like 3 or 4 dates kind of planned up. For that.
Oh, nice.
But you know, hopefully they're not watching.
I have a new leaf program this year, and that is I'm gonna pull the lawnmower out of the garage, and I'm gonna go around the house in the garage until they're not on my property. The same way, just the same way
Not a
all the
bad
way
idea.
around.
I just mulch them all and I leave them all winter.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bag someone, but yeah, I'm doing that. But it's cold outside. I'll see.
If you see a pile of them,
Ugh.
take care of them because leaves have a ton of acid and they will kill your grass.
they will kill your grass, and it will kill anything underneath them.
Whew.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't care.
My
Yep.
Let's go.
Are you sure?
Let's go.
Boys,
These
ladies and gentlemen,
boys gotta leave. Thanks
these
for
boys-
joining us.
Thank you. Oh yeah. Fuck you guys. You guys gotta go right now.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I said that.
Anyway,
Love you guys.
Peace.
Thanks for coming. I'll see you Monday, Tuesday, whatever day I email.
Have a good weekend.
Okay, you guys got to get over the